And welcome to the witness stand. We appreciate you coming before the Budget Committee. Dad, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm grateful for the opportunity to testify before you today and give voice to the constituents that I'm so privileged to serve. We need a healthy debate about our federal government's expenditures, and I welcome that discussion. However, in these 5 minutes before you today, it's unfortunate that I feel the need to talk about an issue that does not belong in this conversation at all. That's the issue of Social Security, a program forbidden by law from drawing upon our nation's general budget revenues and contributing to our deficit. We all agree that our federal budget must reflect our priorities as a nation. Today, I respectfully request that my colleagues ensure that our federal budget also reflects reality. No matter how many times that you say Social Security is broken, the reality is that Social Security's independent revenue stream and its trust funds investments maintain the program's solvency until 2037. Social Security is legally prohibited from contributing to the deficit. It cannot use debt to pay out benefits, not today, not tomorrow, and not in 2037. If Congress fails to address this modest shortfall sometime in the next quarter century, Social Security will then pay out reduced benefits to the tune of 78% of what is owed to beneficiaries. Having introduced the Preserving Our Promise to Seniors Act legislation that would address this shortfall, I am the first to say that we should take action to overcome this challenge and extend Social Security's solvency for future generations. However, it would be disingenuous for me to promote my legislation using the deceitful claim that Social Security faces an imminent crisis. We have a quarter century to shore up Social Security. The most imminent crisis we face is one that we can address right now in our 2012 budget, and that's America's economic crisis. Our economy is riddled with chronically high unemployment, ever-worsening income inequality, and a middle class lacking any sort of economic security. These challenges have consequences for Social Security and for the retirement security of all Americans. Painfully stagnant wages and the growing divide in earnings account for more than half of Social Security's projected shortfall since the last reforms were enacted in 1983. Rising income inequality has led more revenue to escape Social Security taxes, which are currently capped at $106,800. More than 80% of income growth since 1980 has gone to the top 1% of earners, people who stop contributing to Social Security beyond their first few paychecks. Our economy has grown these past few decades, but the paychecks of most Americans have not grown with it. They struggle to put food on the table, afford health care, pay for college, and for many, saving for retirement is not even an option. Over 50% of American households, regular, hardworking people, lack any retirement savings, and of those with retirement savings, over 50% have saved less than $50,000, certainly not enough to sustain a secure retirement. In addition, the pillars of financial stability that many retirees in America have relied on in the past are not as dependable as they used to be. Traditional pension plans have become virtually non-existent. Home values are down. The facts on the ground trouble me even more when considering some of the proposed reforms to Social Security floated by my Republican colleagues, instead of plans to create new jobs or bring economic security to middle-class families. One such ill-advised proposal is raising the retirement age. Washington may have a new fixation on rising life expectancies, but the statistics show our gains in longevity have excluded low-income workers. Raising the retirement age would mean an immediate benefit cut for men and women of America who toil on their feet for 50 years as grocery clerks, coal miners, janitors, and nurses. Every year the retirement age is raised is another 7 to 8% benefit cut for all individuals, whether they retire at 62, 67, or 70. This is not an equitable solution, nor do the American people support it. Another reform apparently on the table is something called means testing, which would exclude Americans defined as affluent from Social Security benefits. Social Security is strong because all Americans contribute to it and believe in it. Turning Social Security into a welfare program for lower-income Americans instead of a wage insurance program that we all count on is not the answer. These proposals, such as raising the retirement age, shifting wealthier Americans to private accounts, and turning Social Security into a welfare program, offends the very wisdom of this stalwart program. Social Security was created on the simple premise that we are all entitled to secure retirement after a lifetime of hard work. My disagreement with these proposals goes beyond the fact that they differ from my legislation, which phases out the unfair cap on Social Security contributions, extends solvency for 75 years, and allows people who put more in to take more out, even guaranteeing adequate cost of living adjustments, What I most vehemently object to is the insertion of these proposals into our budget debate when they have nothing to do with our federal budget. Social Security was created with an independent revenue stream and barred from contributing to the deficit to avoid subjecting the benefits of disabled Americans and current and future retirees to politically charged budget battles like this one. Mr. Chairman, I urge you to keep Social Security benefits off the table in this budget debate because that's exactly where they belong.